welcome. My name is Erica, and this is my colleague Caroline, and we'll introduce ourselves in a moment. But welcome to our three-part episode, collaborative mini-series with Water Now Alliance, where we invite you to learn about our new online guide and downloadable checklist, Navigate the Flood. My name is Erica DePalma. I am the Research Program Coordinator at the Water Center at Penn, and with the generous funding from the Kresge Foundation and valuable insights from our partners, this tool has come to life. And as the primary authors of this work, Caroline and I are very grateful for all contributions that made this product possible. And just a little bit of background about the Water Center at Penn, and then Caroline will introduce herself and share some information about Water Now Alliance. So the Water Center at the University of Pennsylvania is an applied water research center dedicated to addressing critical urban water problems by connecting the university community with regional water practitioners and decision makers. Our ultimate goal is to support local communities achieve long-term urban water sustainability and resiliency. And now I'll pass the mic to Caroline to talk a little bit about herself and Water Now Alliance.
Thanks so much, Erica. Hi, everyone. I'm Caroline Koch. I'm the Water Policy Director for Water Now Alliance. So Water Now is a network of local elected and appointed water leaders who are advancing sustainable, affordable, equitable, and climate resilient water strategies in their communities. We're about 700 members strong across 43 states. And it really has been a pleasure to work on the guide development with Erica and the Water Center team.
Great. And we're so excited to talk about the development of and our future hopes for the guide. So thank you, Caroline. And so just a little bit of background, we launched the guide in April of this year, and we're so excited to see so many people engage with it already. Our website analytics show that we've had nearly 700 new users from 313 cities and nearly 200 downloads from the library in the first month. And we're just blown away.
All right, so let's dive in. Erica, I'm gonna run through some questions so we can get a better sense of what the guide is and how it works, and get an overview. So first up, what is the guide, and who is the intended audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Navigate the Flood guide offers local decision makers and city and utility staff a curated and intentional list of technical guidance and funding resources for stormwater and flood planning and management. For local elected and appointed officials, the guide offers a way to orient themselves, to connect with the technically focused staff on their team related to stormwater and flood management needs via an overview of the key steps. And for managers and staff, the guide offers a way to drill down into these key planning and implementing steps and easily access corresponding technical and financial resources that are available to support stormwater and flood planning and management.
That sounds like a really useful resource. What was the initial inspiration for the guide? What prompted you to create it?
Yeah, and to be honest, it started with the desire to really serve entities that didn't have the capacity or the time to go searching for resources that could greatly support their stormwater and flooding management efforts. So we wanted to make sure that the guide serves both experts that know exactly what they need to do, when they need to do it, and perhaps just need a way to fund their project, their planning goals, and to support the decision makers who may not know where to begin. And to make sure that they are both supported from a technical and financial perspective. We also wanted to provide examples via case studies of what other entities around the country have accomplished. And what's really special about the guide is that the resources are not only available on a searchable database, but they're also strategically placed throughout each step of the guide to provide easy access. And I feel like it's one thing for me to just talk about this, but I'd love to show you just a quick example of what I really mean. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
Great.
All right.
This is what the guide looks like when you type into the website, and we'll get into this a bit more in depth during episode 2. But so this is our homepage, and then if you go to get started here at the top, it'll take you to those key steps that I was talking about. They're process-oriented steps, so they could be done in an order, but as I mentioned before, if you're an expert and you know exactly what you want to do, you can jump right to step 3 and get started there. But for the sake of just showing this example, I'm going to start with step 1. As you can see, there is a description of step 1. What does it really mean to define the condition of your community system? And then in order to really dig into how to address this, we have a series of sub-steps as well. So you'll see a sub-step A, you'll see a description here, and then this is really what I want to talk about is that there's also a series of corresponding resources to this specific sub-step. So they're really intentional, they're really specific. And just to show you a quick, another example, again, here we have step B, and here are some corresponding resources to that sub-step. Now, if you're just looking for, you arrive at step 1 and you just want to see all the resources that are associated with this step, you just click this button right in the middle, and then it takes you to all the resources that correspond with this step. So it's very comprehensive. You can get to these resources in a variety of ways based off what you're looking for.
Wow, again, that is so valuable, and having that all curated and intentionally placed together really took a lot of thought, and I know everyone will find it very helpful.
Yeah, our goal was to really keep it simple, but extremely intentional and informative, and to really just be able to get the information you need without having to click through so many different links in one website. And we did all the work to really dig into some of the larger federal government and non-government websites to find the resources that apply to each step.
Awesome.
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening, everyone. And thank you, Caroline, for all of your efforts in this guide, as well as being on this episode with me today. Stay tuned for our next episode. We'll be taking a tour of the guide more in depth. Just as I was sharing my screen, we'll go through each step and dig in a little bit more.